Hello! I'm not muted. That's good. I was worried for a second that I was, and that was going to be very lame. Yeah. It is Tuesday. I am back, trying some new music. I also updated the stream a little bit, so when an ad appears, it'll show up here, in this area, and we'll wait for everyone to come back. Don't know why I'm getting notifications. I shouldn't get notifications like that. Not while I'm streaming. Alright, let's make sure we've got things in a good spot. And I think there's like an opening ad that shows up too. But today, we are going to be learning... See, I gotta get my mirror Sansa. Dialogic. It's really cool. It's going to help our dialogue. It has timelines. It's got all these cool features. We're going to figure it out. And then maybe I'll make a actual video on it. But it's dialogues for Godot. And some cool features. That's the plan tonight. I hope everyone is having an awesome Tuesday. And I have, what's it called? The Stream Raiders thing that has like the little characters that show up. Hello. If you guys want that, I will add it to the things to improve. If it's annoying and it gets in the way, then I won't do it. That's fine too. I think I'm going to move stuff around a little bit. You can't see this because, yeah. Okay. Get myself situated here. Alright, I think it's supposed to start at like 5 minutes into the stream. And we'll see. All the ads are automatic. I have no control over them. They happen. But the reason I do them and do it this way is so we don't get re-roll ads. So it's not a very good experience to pop into a stream and then get hit with an ad right away. Because, yeah, it's no fun. And then you're like, well, I don't even know if I want to watch this dude. Maybe I'm not interested in this. So I'd rather you be like, nope, this isn't for me, and leave, instead of be hit with an ad and be like, I'm not going to wait for this. So. Welcome to Tuesday. Music today. All right. And I think I can actually turn down the microphone because I changed its location. All right, so today let's work on Dialogic. So what we're going to be doing, let's see here. I'm also going to pull up my handy dandy design here. So we're going to talk about where we are. We're going to hide the dialogue here. So where we where we were last is we now have a highlight that for interaction. We don't have a pop-up that says you can interact, but it's pretty cool. But then there's this little note over here that it's highlighted. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yep. So as it gets highlighted, I press E. Obviously I have debug mode. Oh, there it is. We wait. We wait for the ad. Might help if I'm not muted. I just realized I'm muted. YouTube, I'm really appreciative of you here. That's what I said while I was muted. Because you don't see the ads. Unless you have your ads. I guess I should find a detector. Hey, and we're back. Welcome, everyone. Welcome back, Twitch. All right. So tonight, where was I? Oh, yeah. I was going through this. So I'm going to turn off the debugger. Continue. He picks up. He interacts. He's happy. But what we'd like to happen is a little dialogue box to pop up and start some dialogue. I figure this would be the best time to figure out how to use this cool library called Dialogic. I'm pretty sure we can go to asset lib. I think we just search for it. Dialogic. No. No. Installation. Oh. Final. Oh, I didn't realize it was an alpha. Oh well. Okay. Let's extract this guy. Alpha 13? Okay, so then add-ons. Boom. Should import. There we go. Add-ons. Dialogic. Project settings. Plugins. Dialogic. Enable. A little bit longer than I expected, but okay. Bam! You can use scenes as portraits. This gives you basically limitless freedom. Well, don't threaten me with a good time. Okay. Okay, so we've installed it. We've got it appearing. Add a timeline, add characters. Create timeline. Okay. So, let's go back to our design here. Technically, this is our timeline. It's a flowchart, but it's still technically a timeline. But we can, like, wake up. We've got, like, note. And the note is from girlfriend. It says... Something to the effect that they're not going to be here. Like they're either with their parents for the weekend or something. Something that seems innocent at first, but then later becomes more like it reveals more later. About here, and I'll zoom in. We'll go oops. What sounds good? About hey you. I am staying with my parents this weekend, period. Ooh, I kind of like the idea that because we have a phone later, turn it down just a little bit. That there's a time you call, like you could use your phone in the future in one of the states, and you like call like her parents or call her mom, and she's like, nah, she hasn't been here at all, and like things start breaking. All right, my parents this weekend. It was a mega makeup sale. I need a believable. What's a believable note? Chat, help me. A big event. I don't know, like what events? Is taking me to. We'll come back to it. Like I think we could do better. Like that's just like draft 1. Okay. Yep, she's gone. Now what does this do? It triggers into dirty 1 state, right? So we can say plus home is dirty 1 state. Maybe we just say like trigger home or dirty 1 state. Let's make like a darkened atmosphere a little bit, like a little bit of pressure. And then, yeah, this which just allows like create clean events, like laundry, dishes. Do we make the bed? That's a good one. It's a good, like, one thing learn about. Cool. Sounds good, man. I hope it will be helpful later. I will probably regurgitate this into a smaller, concise video, so we're learning it. But yeah, no problem, man. This is what I'm here for, to figure things out, fail utterly, then figure it out for real, and then make a video about it. So, yeah, I think one of the big things they tell you in, mental health or being on a good spot is make the bed. That's the first good step. That's a success for the day. So that's kind of like leaning into that. Okay. So we've got this note, which creates this event, which triggers that. I certainly will. I'm here Tuesday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Otherwise, I'll be making videos on the other days. Thanks for the positive messages. It truly helps also. Okay. I think that's a good spot there. We then have what interaction? We do the cleaning tasks. Yeah, they're more like triggers, so we just do cleaning tasks. I think we should add an event here where we text and say like, hey, how's it going? And we should have that. So I'm thinking we're gonna have notes, which I guess we have mediums to worry about. All right, mediums. We've got like notes, sticky. We got paper-based. So notes, Post-its, journals, letters. And then we got digital. And that'll be cell phone texts, email. Do we have any other digital stuff? I mean, everything's on a cell phone, right? We could get super meta and have well, it'd be a friend texting. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, we use this email to kids. I don't know if kids use email anymore. If you're mid-20s, they'll be like, email, what's that? Maybe Twitter. They even do the GTA uses Twitter. So could we do something that's bro? I don't know. Come up with funny other name for Twitter. Yeah, super funny. Okay. All right. And then after that, we we are going to text girlfriend. And so in this case, the context is player. That's the character. And we'll go hey, babe. Now, I am not cool enough to text. Do you use... chat, we're gonna have to fix this later where we can all come up with a better way to say this. Like, how would you say this? I'm too old. I'd be like very formal. I need my brother. My brother would probably know how to text this in like shorter amounts. How was the event? Resisting being like, was it lit? I can't believe those words came out of my mouth. We'll go like, hope you had fun. Okay. Start from there, and then let's go back into Godot. So to start with that, create a new timeline. This is going to make me want to build a game with crazy timelines. Okay, create a timeline. Now what? Add a timeline. Yes, we just did that because we're so cool. Once you hit save, yep, we got this screen. Learn about each event. Okay. If you'd like, you can switch to text editor. That's the timeline. Make it play. It's got the play button. To create a new character, add a character. All right, let's. Add a character. Ooh, okay. We'll go girlfriend. She will need a name eventually. I don't have a portrait. We'll go with babe because I used it. It is the player's girlfriend. Typing sounds, style. Okay, this is super in depth. That's cool. That's great. It's great. It's everything I wanted. All right, let's back. I mean, this is great. Actually, it's huge. Hey, they used Godot. Awesome. You need to select the place to save it. Yep. Name it with a DCH. Cool. Sample. Oh, okay. You can change the name as display name. Okay, so yeah, this is the display. That's the name. Okay, that makes sense. Good. Do not have this display name as your ID. Good job, team. When character is created, you'll see it. You can learn about portraits and custom portraits. We're going to come back to portraits, just not right now. I want to figure out the rest of it, and then we'll circle back up on portraits, and we'll do something cool. I think. Adding dialogue. have this dialogue show up in your game. For that, you need two things. You need to have nodes that can display our timeline. Okay. And start the execution of the timeline. Dialogue method. Dialogic start timeline aim or path. If dialogue is already running, or no. If the event queue starts, start chapter A. Okay, well, we can do this. Start the code. So is it? All right, I'm going to take a guess here. We're going to go back to 2D. We're going to go back to our apartment. This doesn't have a script. The player does. I'm going to do this because we're going to extend state for the entire level. And so what I want to do is say dialogic dot start. No. If the dialogic current timeline is not equal to, well, let's make sure we do that. If dialogic dot time dot current timeline. Don't mess with the timeline. Okay, does not equal no. There. Okay, yeah, I can see that as we jump between different states. All right, and then otherwise, that's an event. And I'm just gonna say I want to start chapter A. Oh, I think this is where I just called it like timeline, right? We'll see if that's a horrible idea. Not, but we'll find out. All right. I don't care about the input. And yeah, so then we're gonna say, let the timeline begin. Start. We don't need the pass because it's all in the past. Yeah. Technically that should start it, but it won't do anything. Oh, yeah, that's mine. All right, timeline. There we go. See, it even says it. This is a very helpful info tip. I'm so glad it's not confusing. Good job. All right, timeline. Ooh, choice condition. Okay. I'm gonna nerd out if I keep this up. Okay, you have got started. You have gotten started. You have started. I don't know if the got is needed. Okay. You know the basics. My good sir, I do not believe you. So hold on. All right, I want a condition. Variables. Okay. As needs to use beginner friendly system, however, allows to use outside variables of auto load just easy. What kind of variables can I do? Ooh, I don't know if I like that. Okay. If I could suggest anything that could be improved, this tiny little box that then overrides like what's on there. Luckily, like the hover works. String, float, int, bool. Can you not have an expression? I mean, actually could just do bool then. Baby. Cool. How about red note from girlfriend, and it's false. Okay, well, yeah, because I haven't used it yet, but thank you for telling me to use it. If red note from girlfriend equals true. Okay. Then girlfriend. All right, I'm just guessing here. Next. Oh. No. Okay, how do I get rid? Delete. Cool. Now we'll copy the text from our super ultra amazing design. And paste it in there. I assume that's correct. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's totally correct. Why would it be wrong? Never be wrong. Okay. And then player. All right. Interact. Then we're going to go to state builder. Interaction is note. Can I say Dialogic oop. An ad has appeared. Let's use this moment, chat, to remember to drink, to hydrate. I like how it hides it. Drink responsibly. Come on, Bezos. Get on out of here. Has anyone else used Dialogic before? This is the first time I'm using it, but I've seen other people use it. And, well, I've definitely seen people use it. I just haven't seen them in depth. They've already, like, experts and just flying through. So I really didn't learn much from that. But I've seen it. It looks interesting. Hey! He left. Good. We can now talk about development again. All right. I'll just talk about if, the last time I've seen people use Dialogic. All right. So can I just say set variable or red note? So okay, I need to read this. Let's go to variables. Emit. Oh, look at that. I can do signals. Oh, that just makes me feel good. Like right here. I also need to do a new signals video. Future B that looks back at this, we should do a signals video. All right. Emit with argument. Text signal. I don't think I care right now about signals though. Maybe I do. It would be really cool that the interact when reach the event will emit the signal. And signal. Emit signal. Wait for input. Choice, no. All right, back to variables. Is it other? Variable event. Set. Okay. Awesome. I have no idea what it's asking me to do. Oh, it's right there. Number 3. Variables. All right. Variables. Yes. Use new variables in timeline. Variable index. Index events. Cool. Oh, that's cool. I like that. Yeah, how can I set? You can change variables in a timeline. Yes. That can I set it outside? Okay. Set variable. So this. Can I set was true? No, no Copilot. Get out of here. No one wants you. I think this is not in the... Yeah, there we go. Use variables. I just needed to go read. When in doubt, scroll further. Dialogic.var. Dialogic.var. Red note equals true. Bam. Return regular state. We should then we might have to figure out what we want to do with this. Is note. Okay, and then note. I have reference to that note still. Or maybe it's fine. Because if we read it, we can just continually read it. I don't know. Okay, so now that I have technically set it up right, let's just try it. I just want to know what happens. Come on over here. I assume something was supposed to happen. That's me. Testing scene was started. That's cool. Alright, so now I need to know what I did. Looks like you do a fade. That's interesting. Writing text events. You can do random. That's neat. Right, but how do you get text tags? It's still in progress. Maybe we can even submit a little PR to be like, let's get your text stuff better. Dialogic nodes. Okay. Nodes that you need if you want it to actually affect the game. Cool. Text event. Okay. So we need text event probably on the player, because we want it to show up on his little dialogue thingy. You know, this thing. Let's go with dialogue text. Text bubble. Real text at a given changeable speed. Okay. Now, how do I use this thing? Dialogue text. I even have the typing sound. That's funny. You can add these. Okay. One page with no, like, how to hook it up. And the names aren't even the same. Because it's not Dialogic text. I'm sorry. It says like dialogue text node. Okay, well, I've got Dialogic node underscore dialogue text. I mean, that's, I guess, the same. But then what? Like, I run it? And does it appear when I am playing? I go like this. I am the interact. But I don't know. Yeah. If Reno equals true. I don't want to wait. Starts out false. Here's this little text. Creates a default. Add group, add to necessary. Real text. Okay, we'll figure this out. Let's go back to the documentation. The inspector. Hide when empty. Start hidden. I don't know. We'll I just want to see what happens when I start this up. It's interesting that it's still hidden. Alright. We should also come back to and make sure that our state interact thing Because yes, we did this. Wait a minute. Interact state. Wait, where's... Didn't I just... Wait, where did I set the variable? Here's the note. Idle. Note. State builder. That's right. That's right. If interaction is note, dialogue, read from girlfriend is true. At that point, we're saying interact pickup. So here we should say we'll just go like this. We'll go read note from girlfriend. And let's find out if it actually is true. Really? What is the Godot docs string format? I could do like this, right? I always forget because I never use this. Yeah. And you do percentage. Okay. Do. Hey, it's true. Look at that. It's true. If that's the case, let's go look at the player. Let's look at this note. That text is blank. How do you tell it what the text is? All right, let's go back to the docs. Text event. Have nodes that you need if you want them to actually affect. Yes. So dialog nodes use settings from the dialog settings page. Is it that settings should be the same for staff? Usually it only. Dialog text. Maybe I'm like expecting it to do too much for me. Example timeline. Okay, this is a text. Okay, dog text event. How do I... How do I even know it's running? Hold on. Department. Start timeline. Let's just throw this at the top and say, let's add a character too. And let's call it player. And we'll go me, just for now. Style, no style, typing sounds, maybe later. No portraits, names. Okay, we're gonna go player. And we're gonna say, I don't think we probably don't even need the quotes, honestly. We'll just drop that. And then we'll go. So ready for the weekend. I wonder if we're gonna do this. Ooh, I don't know that. Add girlfriend name here. Back from the gym. Save. That adds a timeline. What's... Oh, that just makes this floating. Okay. Okay. Now, we'll see what this does. Hey! Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Look at that. Okay. Okay. We have some success. We have a little bit of success, which is great. Although I don't like the duplicate text thing happening, but it's fine. Yeah, because we need to... okay. So that tells me that this condition needs to happen. I mean, I guess there's like a first thing. So let's go back to player. Note. This is a test. We'll start hidden. Hide when empty. Okay. Hey! Hello, ultimate tempt. How's it going? Oh, that text is still there. I do not have that command. I do have... Yeah, either way, I've got commands on there. I just don't know what they are. Welcome in. We are figuring out Dialogic. And I actually am getting some success. Alright, so if I do this... Okay. The condition was still true, but nothing changed. So what triggers the event? Oh, you redeemed. Hydrate. Drink up, chat. That includes you. Yeah, because I was a little bit parched. It's, all this text stuff gets you tired. Thirsty. Thirsty for more content. So ready for the weekend? Okay, so this worked. And now I have a condition. But I think it's reading the condition and then keep on going. I think it needs to be like, maybe it's a jump? All right, let's go read about jumps. I like this song. Jumps, 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 jumps. Jumps. We need... Oh. Wow, that has appeared again. We wait. We wait. I'm still gonna read. And we're back. I wait for all of my followers or viewers or whatever. So the Bezos has got his pennies and we were back to coding. I was just reading some of this. I'm thinking I could pause the timeline or wait for input. What's this? Oh, change position. Okay. Label. No. Set. No. Signal. And then this timeline. Oh, and then I could probably do like waiting for interaction. Hey, there we go. Okay. Let's try this again. No. Oh, we still need that interrupt state. Okay. Add else. Jump to waiting for interaction. I don't think this is what it's meant for, that it just goes and it's like continually repeating. Yeah, look at it. It is jumping constantly. Look at that. Not responding. Yeah. Oops. Because of this. Wait for input. I think waiting for input is too soon. Because the way the script works is the event occurs, which immediately probably triggers the input, which then it figures out what it is, and then it says like get the state. We find out it's here, and we set it too fast, or not fast enough. How come? So we've got wait. I want to wait. I want it to get auto load. I want to do different things. No choices, but I really don't. It's not choices that I'm literally. So it goes here. Character joins. Okay. So it almost it feels like I'm building a queue, okay? And that's what this is. The timeline's a queue. And when this plays, I didn't need to be like, yo, pause. What if, okay, can I just had an idea. Label, we're gonna go with interactions. Okay. If he reads the note, okay, what I'm thinking about doing is in the script here, right? What if we say, ooh, what's the codes? Because you can do it. Create timelines in code. You can say that start. Yeah, let's see. Okay, it's oh. Wait. So it has this. Ooh, I wonder if we could use that. And let's see, Dialogic dot jump. Is this right? I don't know. We're gonna jump and say interactions. We're gonna try it. Go to script. Ember jump is not a function. Jump dot. Hold on. What do you mean jump? And start. Auto advanced. Alright, auto advance is here, changing feature that allows you to automatically progress through the timeline without requiring user input, providing a hands-free experience. Alternative to traditional click to advance method. Okay, I don't want it to run. Can I have an auto pause? Because I thought that's what I was getting. Like, I thought I had a variable, it was going to wait. But it doesn't do that. Every setting out of that. Okay. Auto skip. And we could just skip your text in general. Who cares? We don't need it anymore. Creating extensions. We're not even there yet. Text tags. Look at that. 6 and 7 are duplicates. Jump. Jump to label. How do I do that? I want to do this. Pause. Logic. Dot jump. No description available. There's like a subsystem for the Dialogic subsystem, and it's got a jump to label. So I want to know how I get here. Dialogic subsystem is what it inherits. Shouldn't I be able to jump from here? As far. I think it's just a variable, so I don't know what it's allowed to do and what it's not allowed. Because I'd be like, jump to label. But I have a feeling that's not. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Get event is nil. Wait a minute. Wait. Timeline. There is no timeline. Else. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. I hate that that text is still floating there. There is no timeline. Okay. 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 So it plays through the timeline. Okay. And finishes. And it's just gone. So maybe I'm thinking about it wrong. Maybe timeline is just like what's in the moment. Like maybe you need to have like a timeline of interactions. Maybe. Or be like played note. Let's go look at timeline. Getting started. You hit start. You can learn more about each event. You can test the timeline. Create a character. Having nodes that can display our timeline. Okay. This tells us to start it. Set input as handled. Interesting. So I think this had me wrong at first. Because I was trying to do like the entire game as a single timeline. I don't think that's what they want. So weird though. If I delete that, right? I come over here and I save. And if instead we just say Dialogic dot start timeline. Okay, and we'll get all of this out of there. Now we don't care that we are starting here in the play and saying start timeline. Instead, it'll like play it and be like, okay, I didn't do anything. Okay. Then I come over here. And there it is. Next question. Why did it put it here and not with that fancy text thing? Me too. Okay, so that's not cool that it didn't even... So I was right. We are learning, chat. We are learning. We only have an hour left to figure this out. But it's all coming together. Okay, so player... Is there any difference? So why? I don't know. I don't know. And it should just go away now that it's done. I think maybe it's like wait for input. Use style, default style. I don't know. We're just playing here. We're figuring things out. Okay. Oh, I didn't even... We didn't even finish entering. That's why I was like, I thought it was getting cut off, but it wasn't. Oh, I didn't even think about oh, there's a big event my mom is taking me to. This is why I kept thinking that was getting cut off. I am... we are going to have a spa and shopping weekend. Talk to you soon. Period. XOXO. Okay. That sounds like something someone would text, right? Absolutely. Wonder if I don't need that other text, actually. If I go like this. Yay. And it's gone. Look at that. It left. Okay. So if we go to player. All right. I'm just going to delete this node. It said we needed it, but I think it was a trap. I bet we don't even need it. I bet it creates the node in the scene. So we'll go like this. It does. It does. It does. Look at that. Bam. Ooh, that opens up a bunch of doors. We could make this like a paper based and have like a, if we could do like a writing instead of like a type, like that sounded like a typing text. We can do so many things. Okay. Well, then if you do this, okay. Cool, 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 cool. I need to hit the restroom real fast. All that hydration. I'll be right back. How kind of an ad to appear. We'll just wait a moment. On Bezos. So I'm super happy we're figuring it out. But I think maybe we should do something else on what kind of improvements can we do this stream? No viewer left behind. There we go. Oh, completed. I might have to update how long that runs. It's an interesting look at like how long the duration of the ads are. They're all roughly like a minute and a half. But it's just interesting. Anyway, welcome back. Again, I don't control those. I mainly set it up so we don't have pre-roll ads because no one likes that. Okay, so I'm super happy that we figured out this interaction. And we can even see it here where it adds the node to the scene. So that's really cool. I'm thinking if we do this, how he's like going to sleep, we can base it on like even the character. Like we can have the interaction state. And then we can come down here, have like laundry, dishes, stuff up here. All right, so let's see how we want to. Let's look at this timeline here. We can have. Let's see here. The way Dialogic works. So let's see. Where do I want to do this? You know, here's a blank screen area. Let's do it here. Let's go with it. We'll zoom on in. We'll say. Dialogic. Bad assumptions. The timeline is for the entire run of the game. This is a bad assumption. Why? Because the timeline it's really just queue. Now you can do tricks like pause the queue or like wait for input or even just wait X amount of time. But that's not ideal either. Personally, pausing the queue could be like, we could do this. I could see a world where we've got, so we've got our timeline, right? We say like, wake up. Why don't you put on a little makeup? You have your like, wake up, whoa, wake up text, right? I'm so glad it's the weekend. You know, some arbitrary amount of text. Okay. Then you could say like call signal, or not call, maybe call. That might be better than signal, because you can do call. Right, on auto load. Call method. Ooh. Ooh, can I pause? No, you cannot. Okay. Okay. Why can you start and start a timeline? And end a timeline. Add a subsystem. But you could not. You cannot pause it. Ugh. See, this is coming back to me. Because then they're like, oh, I could do a signal. And I'm like, signal with argument. I say, pause. Now, the issue is I'm fighting with runtime errors. Because I'm going to call signal. I'm going to have a catch the signal method in some class. And the time it took for the signal to be retrieved and then actioned, and then maybe I say dialogic.pause. From that moment, things in this timeline have already continued. I mean, you could make it really hacky and say like emit and wait X amount of time. Please don't do that. Waiting and like relying on time, like a delay to save you, to get your code to run fast enough. No, absolutely not. You could have someone running on a very, very old computer and they try to run your game and your delay is just not enough. And now your timeline is like screwed. The other thing, it looks like I could have an auto load. Could have a global class, yuck, an auto load class that calls dialogic.pause and dialog.resume. Which is why I don't think this is what they intended. Like, there's a lot of things in here, but my issue is it just doesn't, it's not just waiting for the next event. It just runs. And as we saw, when I was like, okay, if it's not this, you know, or if I have like multiple conditions and I run through them all and I say, you know, jump back up, it runs, and I could tell it was 100%ing the CPU. It was just going max. It was like app crashed. It was breaking the main thread and wasn't good. So don't do that. So the only thing I can think of, if we look at their example here, we have getting started, writing timelines. Okay, so here's an example timeline. Already, the timeline is an event. Here they're like, hey, it's the factory. This guy joins. Hello, welcome. Like this is like this isn't the whole game. No, this is an example. I thought this was a cool new feature. Nah, sorry. It's okay. Dialogic. What about? So like how to bake cookies. What's this be about? How to bake cookies, confused. How to reach the moon if player equals NASA. So it's a funny little thing, but this whole thing isn't a game. It's an event. It's a scene. So timeline. I think they use timeline because scene's already used in Godot and it gets kind of overrun. So let me do this real quick. Let me go red and be like, do not create a mega timeline. All right. I hope that's clear. No mega timelines. You cannot break the timeline. So the way I see it is it's more, I don't know if anyone's ever played D&D or tabletop RPGs. There's a system out there called Cortex Prime. And what I really like about Cortex Prime is it breaks down a whole session into many parts. And when it does that, it breaks up things down from like dramatic events and like it just breaks things down so you can create a session that is a combination of a bunch of scenes, which has a bunch of beats to make a fun experience. So while you might have, say, a session, right? In fact, we'll make this bigger. We have like a campaign, or, you know, an entire game experience. In there, you have a session or a chunk of time you are playing. An hour, 2 hours, 30 minutes, whatever. A session is broke up into many, many scenes. And then scenes are broken out into beats. And, ooh, man, Excalibur. And there can be one to many beats. A beat is a dramatic moment. Dramatic, interesting, moves the story along moment. Okay, it's a key thing. I think a timeline, Dialogic timeline, is just a scene in this aspect. I think it belongs here. All the little events and things you're doing are like the beats. They're your choices. They're the event. There's the text you're getting. Now, calling it a scene in Godot makes it super confusing. So I get why they didn't call it scene. And a beat is just a single event. So you wouldn't make a queue of a single events. So that's why I think it's a scene. Because even in this example here that they show us, where they got him in a factory and they're talking about this timeline and like, what should we talk about? Right? That's a scene in like D&D sense, in like a roleplay experience. You have this scene with an NPC, you're having a conversation, that scene ends. You might have made a choice, you might have made a direction, you might have done nothing. But in there, you still have a full, complete, like encapsulated experience, which is what the timeline is. Or an experience is another way I guess you'd call it too. So timeline kind of messes with my head of like what it is. Because I think entire, like when I hear timeline, I think campaign. I think the entire timeline. So instead, it's a bunch of timelines. Now, granted, I'm still new to this. I don't know if, because one of the things that's also interesting when I'm looking here, right, I can say on load, I say like start timeline. And I can be like interactions, right? I could literally I could maybe create a timeline of timelines. maybe. If you want this to like control the entire experience. That seems possible. And it might be useful for like keeping track of things. Potentially. Because you can start a timeline, you can end a timeline. It also means that you're putting everything into this. Like, this thing owns your entire progression. Like, this becomes your progression engine. Which maybe it is. Like, maybe you're controlling state in this, too. Really don't think that's what we want either. But you could do it. There's tons of things in here. You can set variables. You can have a text input. Which makes me wonder if you can, like, you know, let's throw it in there. Let's just do it right off the bat. Show an input and store it in variables. Let's go and create a variable, and let's call it text to girlfriend. Okay. Yes, make a reference. Cool. I don't know if this helps me if you just create it. Like, hey, I don't know. Text to girlfriend, right? I will say, like, hey, how was the party? Question mark. Let's just go with it. I just want to see what happens. So here can be like, that was not the. Oh, look at that. We can still move. Dialogic is cool. Confirm. Yeah, I know. It's good to know. So you can have dialogue show up. You can have it probably override it. One of the things I'm curious words. Let's look at. We got translations. Ooh, locale. That's really cool. We'll have to. I'd love to try to do that. You can do translations. Pausing. So yeah, this is the pause. Like, you can pause it. Okay. So here's something. I didn't even add it to my list. Okay. You can just let it end. And then do a signal to start it up. That still feels like an anti-pattern to me. Let's move this over. mega timeline, just so we're all clear what this is. Mega. Okay. Do not create a mega timeline. So yeah, you could let it end and then start it up again. Let it end, start it up again. My beef with that is we saw where running back, having it like jump back to the interaction, because like we don't want it, like if you had like text, it's like, oh, good weekend, and it ends and it restarts, you'd want to have like a function that skips that. So you'd have to have all these state variables that skip it. That's a coding spell. I don't think having a bunch of variables that's like all the state is the right way to do it. I mean, you could do an Undertale and just have a giant state tree list and turn flags on and off. You could do it. Go for it. I even think Pirate Software does the same in his. I think he's just got a giant array. Either way, whatever you make, you have to manage. So remember, however complicated you make it, you need to make sure you have everything there to make it uncomplicated when you look at it a week, 3 weeks, a month, a year from now. So make it as readable as possible. Make sure you know what you're doing. All right, so in our case, what kind of scenes do we have? Well, we've got our we can make this smaller. Day 1. Session. I want to say this is like the bedroom scene. Really had to refrain myself from making some joke. Okay. And so we've got things like a note. We've got the like first, the wake up. Message, maybe. Maybe like a bed interaction where you're like, I'm not tired. I just woke up. Right? So we've got I feel like we've got like we have interactions plus I almost feel like we have an interactions timeline. Right. Like we have girlfriend's note. We have like bed. And here we've got like first read, maybe? Which then could like add it to our journal. Not tired. If did a full day of chores, go to bed. Plus text girlfriend, something like that. Like these are all interactions. And it could even be like the state, right? So it could be like day 1, Now, you could do this. But looking at our flow here, you know, neutral, parents. Now the state is dirty. We end up doing the cleaning task. Now we're back to here. These all kind of feel like timelines. We've got the neutral timeline. There it is. We have to know states. We have interactions. We're also gonna have like boss dialogues. We're also gonna have let's say like event dialogues. You know, like a sudden text or like a transition dialogue. Maybe like on game over, death, restart. You know, kind of like stay determined, you know. So that's exactly how that sounded. Oh, that has appeared. I should have a mini game pop up when this happens. That'd be cool. If when there's an ad appears, then when that shows up, we have like a middle mini game pop up, and those that do not get an ad can type in chat like a word game, almost like a game dev Wordle. I'm adding that as actions. Steam improvements. On ad breaks, those who are not getting an ad can play game dev Wordle that appears on break. Yeah, okay. Welcome back. I had an idea for those that were gone. On ad breaks, if you are a subscriber or you have Turbo, either way, thank you for supporting. We'll do like a little game dev Wordle or something. Like we'll just have it pop up on screen, and as you type in things, it'll like show up. I don't know. It's an idea. The idea of interaction, and it's kind of like the ads let us have a break for a moment. If it's like so focused, yeah. I'll work on that this weekend. I'll work on stream improvements over weekends. So, okay. Let's see. So we have interactions that can occur, which are variable, right? Which are very much the if state of, if state equals, you know, expected value, present, dialogue. In a sense, that's things like if you read the note, present it. If you're going to bed, if you did the dishes, you got a text. If you're on the phone with somebody, well, these are all just like state variable ones. Event. This one to me is the game loop, like fires off a signal, tells Dialogic to start event, boss timeline or something like that. Or, signal, event, text from friend, or event, social media notification. Something. These are events. You go to sleep. It's an interaction on game and death. Now, this is like during a fight in good D&D reference. As a result of being bloodied. In a sense. How you could like initiate different phases of the fight. Yeah. Or in reaction to you doing something in the fight, whether you got it right or wrong, get a response based on your choices. We could do it in code 2. This would be interesting. You can have events.append text event. Create an array of events. Create an array of strings. You can reference your character. Yeah, text event.character. So the The only thing that has me... So, I think it's the same problem, right? You create your queue and you start it. It's all very well nice. But what happens... Timeline.events equals events. What if you add events while it's already started? You'll probably run through it, finish it. You have to like run it again. There's no persistent timeline that's waiting for a queue to like to go. But you could do the like signal, like when it ends, start it up again. But it's also so inefficient. Like you should run it when you need it. Creating a timeline. Oop. That's an interesting way to do it. Kind of hurts my brain a little bit. I think the same problem exists. You just have to write more code. I don't think it's any better. Like I think it's based on how you need it. Yeah, bad assumptions. I guess I really didn't finish this, did I? What other assumptions did I have? Oh, you need to add Dialogic nodes. That was actually a really cool thing. It adds to the scene tree on its own. I think that's awesome. I'm gonna put that green. That's awesome. And you could also do factions. You could have like a timeline that just represents a person's interaction. Right. So you could put this together in ways that works for you. You can have, let's make this large, go back to white. Was it large? No, it was medium. We'll go back to medium. You could have, you know, people timelines, right? So it's like first meet, relationship status, condition, you know, like friend, enemy, lover, whatever. Some specific event / state. So that could be anything from some event you want, from like texting them, sending a message, giving them a note, some event, and that could then change. So you can create timelines for people, that you would probably like do event like send text to person. In this case, this is person timeline. Right? And you could probably even do things where you run through this and, you know, maybe this is that, they send that there, and then this just like when game time equals 7 p.m. send reply. Yeah. Wow, ... or something, you know. You could do that. Now, that would mean, I think Dialogic only allows a singular timeline to be running at any moment. Okay. I only have 8 minutes left. But the questions I still have that I'm going to create a video about and answer these, answer what I've said so far, put it down, make it simple. And you have a continuous queue timeline. Meaning, like this example here, when they create this event, can they create an event and put it on the timeline that's just there until it's cleared? Like, I know it's like, don't create a mega timeline, but maybe it's a an active timeline. And it takes other timeline and like slates it. Let's see if we can put this. Let's make it blue. Why not? Cool. They totally got rid of that other one. I'll go with B. Like, can we slate these guys in here? And then their timelines stay active until events are disposed / used. So, can I create things where, like, where this character here says, like, hey, I'm gonna send you a reply at 7 p.m. And so then this just stays in the active timeline till 7 p.m. in the game, and then it runs. What this means is that the end signal starts active timeline. I want to know, what is the impact of doing this? And should you do it? Or should you just manage it in your code? Like, that's something I have. Are interaction queues, interaction timelines good? Worth it? Should you have people-based timelines? I still think that my first thought of how it's broken up is true. That the timelines are just contained scenes of events that you want to play through. But I could be wrong. Devs, if you're out there, tell me what you think your purpose was behind it, and like what is correct. Is the mega timeline viable? I don't think so, but tell me if I'm wrong. All right, let's see. You guys have any questions of your own that you want me to follow up on? I think I think there's a ton of progress we made. Like the fact that this guy, we can do this. Oh, I broke it. That's right. That's a horrible way to show that this doesn't work. Delete. Yeah, so now it should work. There we go. Okay. We have a base setup going. If you have any questions, let me know. All right, guys. Let's go find someone to raid. Who is online right now? Megabat, Jitspo, Adam. Let's go to Jitspo so I can give some a shout out, because he builds the he's part of the group that builds this fancy thing. Text exploder. Okay, so we're gonna raid Jitspo. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. You are all very, very awesome. And yeah, I will be back tomorrow night, same time. Stay awesome. And be kind.